Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're talking all about healthy aging, and specifically how to decode those sometimes confusing signals our bodies send us after we hit that 50 mark. You know, as we get older, listening to our bodies isn't just a suggestion, it's absolutely crucial for keeping our energy up and feeling our best. So let me ask you, have you been feeling unusually tired lately? Maybe a bit weak or just unexpectedly out of breath? Has your body's engine been feeling kind of sluggish when you're doing things that used to be a total breeze? Okay, let's dive into this. Because while these everyday symptoms can pop up for a million reasons, they might actually be connected to a silent drop in your iron levels. Think of your body as this incredibly complex, high-performance machine, and for this machine to run, it needs very specific fuel, while iron is that essential fuel. Your body literally uses it to make hemoglobin, which is a super important protein inside your red blood cells. You can picture these red blood cells as microscopic little delivery trucks, and the hemoglobin is what actually loads up and carries the vital oxygen cargo to every single cell, tissue, and organ you've got.
Section 1. The body's warning light system.
When that iron fuel runs low, your body doesn't just quietly shut down, right? It starts flashing warning lights across different systems to get your attention. It's actually a brilliant survival mechanism. But here's the tricky part. These warning lights look an awful lot like other conditions. So let's decode them. Starting with warning system 1, energy and breathing. This is where we see the big whole body issues happen. When those oxygen delivery trucks we just talked about aren't running efficiently, your entire biological energy grid takes a massive hit.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how directly it links cause and effect. Persistent fatigue? That's not just you needing an extra cup of coffee. It happens because you literally do not have enough healthy red blood cells to transport oxygen where it needs to go. And that shortness of breath during a totally normal walk? That's because a severely reduced amount of oxygen is making it to your muscles. Your cells are basically starved for oxygen.
But hey, before we go diagnosing ourselves, we have to pause here. Fatigue and shortness of breath have so many possible causes, and that includes some very serious heart or lung conditions. Please never just assume low iron is the culprit without getting a proper medical evaluation. We want to be smart about this, not jumping to conclusions. Moving right along to warning system 2, visible physical changes. Sometimes the biggest internal nutritional gaps show up right on the surface. We're talking about the physical clues that stare right back at you in the bathroom mirror.
There are 3 classic visible red flags here. First, pale skin. And a really good way to check this is actually by gently pulling down your lower eyelid and looking at the color inside. Second, having freezing cold hands and feet, even when it's perfectly nice out. And third, brittle nails that just suddenly change in strength or texture. Now sure, low iron can definitely cause these, but things like circulation issues, thyroid stuff, and just your general nutrition play a huge role here too.
All right, let's look at our final cluster, warning system 3, brain and head symptoms. Remember those oxygen delivery trucks? Well, your brain is a total gas guzzler. It is one of the most demanding organs in your body for oxygen. So when that cargo is light, your neurological functions are some of the very first things to protest. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when you restrict that precious oxygen flow. Getting dizzy every now and then is normal, but frequent dizziness, that's your brain crying out for oxygen. The exact same logic applies to persistent headaches, and if you're dealing with brain fog or difficulty concentrating, that is directly tied to the fact that iron transports vital oxygen right to your cognitive center. Without it, your brain literally struggles to stay focused.
Yet again, we return to the golden rule of This Explainer. When dealing with your brain, you must see a doctor. Only appropriate medical testing can determine what's really going on. These symptoms are just way too important to leave to an internet search, right?
Section 2. Refueling the engine with iron-rich foods.
Okay, we've decoded the warning lights, so let's talk solutions. If your doctor runs some tests and says, yep, you need more iron, your everyday diet is one of the absolute best ways to naturally restore that supply. If you eat meat, animal sources like lean beef, chicken, and turkey are super easy for your body to absorb. But if you're eating a plant-heady diet, you've got amazing options too. Lentils, beans, spinach, pumpkin seeds, fortified cereals. There are delicious, actionable steps here for literally everyone.
But wait, there is a fascinating biochemical trick to getting the absolute most out of those plants. It's called the vitamin C hack. So the crucial point is, just eating iron-rich plants isn't always enough, because plant-based iron is actually a bit tougher for our bodies to unlock and absorb on its own.
You need a catalyst, and it's so simple. Just pair your plant-based iron with vitamin C.
Think a fresh squeeze of orange juice, a side of strawberries, or throwing some crunchy bell peppers right into your spinach salad. Doing that dramatically boosts your body's ability to actually absorb that iron fuel. It is a brilliant little nutritional synergy that you can start using today.
Section 3. Maintenance and care.
Think of these next habits as the routine maintenance that every single body over 50 needs to stay running smoothly. Let's move to and see how this builds into a foolproof, totally safe health strategy. Step 1. Eat that balanced diet we just talked about. Step 2. No guessing, don't self-diagnose. Step 3. Be proactive and ask your provider if testing makes sense for you. And Step 4. This is big. Take iron supplements only if your doctor explicitly tells you to. Too much iron? That can cause a whole different set of messy problems.
Oh, and here's a bonus habit that really ties all of this together. Stay physically active. Alongside eating well, regular movement is a massive pillar of healthy aging. It keeps the heart strong and makes sure those oxygen delivery trucks are moving briskly all throughout your body.
As we wrap up this explainer, let's anchor on this one crucial thought. These symptoms can have many different causes, and they do not automatically mean you have low iron. We are here to empower you with great information, but this is never a substitute for a real diagnosis or lab work. Your body is totally unique, and your medical care should be too.
Which brings us to our final question for you. What step will you take today for your long-term health? Proactive aging is all about checking the dashboard, asking questions, and teaming up with your doctor. So listen to your body, book that checkup if you've been dragging, and keep fueling your engine right. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and as always, keep learning and stay curious.